The Pokemon rotation is coming to PTCGLive, and if you don't know what that is, it's Pokemon TCG's premier software to play the trading card game. It's very buggy, I'll give you guys that, but it is the best way to go ahead and get some games in, get some practice in, and it is a very easy way to build up an account and play games. The Pokemon TCG Live does something really cool every time a new rotation happens, and they give out these starter decks, I guess we'll say. Like, they're pre-constructed decks that the Pokemon company gives to every account just for logging on to the account. So this is how you can get those decks for free. Just log on. Coming up soon within the next, I don't know if there's an end date for it, but it's going to start happening this Thursday or Friday. Just log on to your PTCGL account and you will get these Pokemon decks for free. And I'm going to go through each of them so you don't have to. So if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. My name is Rahul and we're going to be going through a lot of Pokemon content here. You can see here that the Pokemon TCGL offers a exciting new way to play whatever blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But here are the decks that are outlined here coming out whenever this rotation patch hits, which is this week. Charizard EX, a Tier 1 deck. Gold Chien-Pao EX, a Tier 1 deck. Goldengo EX, a Tier 2 deck. Giratina V-Star, a Tier 1 deck for its entire life until maybe now. Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, a deck that's on the fringe a little bit for fun, so you can have something to play that isn't necessarily a meta deck and have a little bit of fun with the game. Lugia V-Star, a Tier 1 deck. Mewtwo EX, I don't even think that's on a tier. And Roaring Moon EX, a deck that is a little bit more fun as well and a lower on the tier list. So I decided to pull them onto Limitless TCG, where you can make images of deck lists and share them with your friends, just to see what these decks kind of look like and break them down with you. The first of the decks is the Charizard deck. You can see here card not found is there for a couple of cards, but that's just because some of the arts aren't recognized in here. Boss's Order and Professor Research are pretty much staples in almost all these lists, and Buddy Puffin replaces VIP Pass. So let's just take a look at the shell of the decks. That's the more important part. You basically get a 4-2-3 Charizard line, which is all you'll ever need with a Charizard line. And then you get a 3-2-2 or 2-2-2 Pidgeot line, and a 2-0-2 is typically very common in lists. So you already get the Pidgeots, the Charizards, and all the other bulk you need, plus a Radiant Charizard to couple with all of that, which already makes it so you have a majority of the Charizard core besides some of the trainers and maybe tech Pokemon you'd like to play, which doesn't cost that much dust or crystal essence to build. Then you get 4 copies of Arven, a couple of Ionos as well, some Boss's Orders, some Research, all your rare candies, all your Ultra Balls, most of your Nest Balls, the 2 Super Odds you need, a ton of TM Evolutions, a Defiance Band, and your deck is set. You basically are being handed a Tier 1, almost pre-constructed, completely Charizard list that's going to go ahead and you can take this onto ladder and immediately start queuing, and you'll probably win a lot of games because Charizard EX is an incredibly good deck, and you're being given a list that is virtually almost competitive ready. Just a couple of cards change, maybe 5 or 6 change, and you are playing what a player would potentially play for an international championship, which is pretty awesome. Next up, we have Chien-Pao Baxcalibur. Again, Boss's Orders is a card that's in here, it's just not being shown. And Morty's Conviction is another one that's a new card that's discard 1 and draw up to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This one's giving you a 3-1-3 Baxcalibur line. You don't really need the Arctobax ever, but having a 3-1-3 is really good for Baxcalibur. You get 3 whole Chien-Paos, which is awesome. Radiant Greninja, which is a Radiant Pokemon of choice for a lot of decks, so now you get that as well. 2 Barrel, which is pretty much the standard across the board in a lot of lists. Lumineon, so even if you don't use Lumineon in this deck, you now have Lumineon for the rest of your other decks because it's being gifted to you in your collection. And a Mew EX as well, so you're now being given another card that's a really good utility card for a lot of decks. You're also getting 4 Irida, more Ionos, a Morty's Conviction, a couple copies of that, Turo. I'm assuming you're getting 4 Buddy Puffin across all these decks because it looks like every single deck plays them. And then you're getting pretty much the shell of everything else. You're getting 4 Nest, 4 Ultra, 4 SER, 2 Vacuum. Like, you don't really need much more than this. Maybe you want to change a couple round cards here and there, but you have almost a pre-constructed, fully ready to go Chien-Pao 60-card deck that you could take into a tournament. Next up, we have Goldengo. This is where the cards start getting a little fringe, so I'm excited to see where the fun cards come in here. You can see that Boss's Orders again, and Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking is coming in, also in clutch to join us, Buddy Puffins as well. And then you have the Goldengo, a full 4-4 Goldengo line is being given to you for free. That's 4 EXs that you don't have to craft anymore if you want to play this deck for fun. So there's no barrier to entry there. Then you get a 4-4-1 Gallade line. So Curly is going to help you draw a ton of cards as you're setting up your board and infinitely drawing into more cards. So you have more card draw of Curlia, more card draw of Goldengo. You can get to those big numbers once again and do the Make It Rain attack. You have a couple of Tulips and Lady to just bolster that. Aromas for your setup. And then ball cards galore. So this is another deck that I think it looks pretty ready to just take onto ladder if you want to with minimal changes. Next, we have Giratina V-Star, a deck that's been kind of very, very dominant in the current standard format. And just by looking at it, The boss's orders, the Buddy Poffin didn't translate once again, but you can see you get 4 Comfy, a 3/3 Giratina V-Star line, which is already insane. 2 Cramorant, 2 Sableye, and a Manaphy. So you already have your entire Lost Box engine here with 4 Colress, 4 Gate, 4 Nest Ball, all being given to you. 8 copies of Switch cards. Even if you don't play 8 copies of Switch cards plus 2 Beach Court, you're being given all these resources. So if you go down on them, you still have extra Switch cards to use in a different deck, or you just have them in your collection now. You also get your 4 copies of Jet Energy. So this is like an insane amount of cards being given to you that are all really, really good, especially in the context of like having to construct some of these decks. Like you no longer have to construct Charizard cards. A lot of the Chien-Pao cards are already given to you. A lot of the Goldango cards are given to you, and almost all the Tina cards are given to you. So what you have to construct as you're playing and earning packs and opening them is very, very minuscule. Then we have Zoroark V-Star, which I don't really know how it's going to be constructed because it's not like a real deck in my mind. But you basically get a 3/3 Zoroark V-Star, which I guess seems fine. Maybe if you want to play 4/4, you can construct a little bit more. But then you have like the Dodrio line that you could play as a tech card for it. The Gengar that comes in the deck as well. 4 copies of Aroma, Damage Pump, Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, Gape Jaw Bog, Double Turbo, and Jets. So now Double Turbo is another card that goes into multiple decks. So you have these tech cards that can be splashed around that are being given to you for kind of free. And then we have Lugia, which is going to be one of the premier decks as well in the format. And here you get a 3/3 Lugia as well as 4 Archeops. So unless you want to play a 4/3 Lugia or a 4/4 Lugia, you don't really have to construct anything else here. You're getting 3 of the Unfazed Fat Snorlax, which is already a very, very good card. And you're getting more of them than maybe you need, potentially. 2 Luxrays as well, with reversals. A ton of the special energy that you don't have to craft anyway that's being given to you. So let's just say you already have 3 Jet, 3 Therapeutic, 2 Gift, and a couple of Mists that are being put in here as well. Well, maybe I jump up the Jet Energy by 1. You don't have to. It's already in the Giratina deck. The Giratina deck gives you 4. So maybe you go up on 4 Therapeutic, make 2 more Gift Energies, make 2 more Reversal Energies. But all in all, you already have all the pieces that you need to continue playing the game that you want to play. You also get Explorer's Guidance, one of the new supporters. So this is basically an almost pre-constructed Lugia deck, once again being given to you. Don't really know what's going on with this Mewtwo deck. Don't really know what it does. I'll be honest with you guys. But you do get 3 Mewtwo EX and a 4/4 Zatu, which is kind of neat. And then a random 1/1 Arceus in here, which is also pretty neat. That's kind of free, and we get that. And the Enamorous V. A couple of weird supporters in here that get added to our collection. Arazu, Penny, 2 EXP shares, and Moonlit Hills. So like we never say no to free cards. Like if it's free cards, we just say yes, log in, and hit accept, and then we move on with our day. So even if these cards will never see the light of play out of your collection, you now have them. Like maybe Arceus is a deck you wanted to build more of, and you don't have to build a full line now. You already have a 1/1 line that you can elaborate upon, so you don't have to burn as much dust, buy as many codes, play as much online to open your free packs if you're a free-to-play player, etc. Now the final deck in the rotation is a Roaring Moon. We have the 4 EX, the 3 Bonnet, a Sneasler, a couple of the baby guys. So you're getting 4 Roaring Moon EX, which is already pretty crazy. Another 4 copy of Squawkabilly as well. Explorer's Guidance is also in here. It's just not listed. Sada's Vitality, 4 Dark Patch, 4 Earthen Vessel, 4 Trekking Shoes, Switch Cards, Ultra Balls, 4 Ancient Booster Capsule, 3 Pokestuff. So we're basically getting a majority of the Ancient core just being handed to us. Let's say you wanted to play around with this and play Ancient Box. Well, you already have all your Ancient supporters. You already have your vessels. You already have your tools. All you have to now build are some of these rares like Koraidon and Miraidon. Or Koraidon, sorry. And maybe Slitherwing and maybe Fluttermane and Great Tusk and some of these other cards that are a little bit on the fringe. But you basically have to build, you get all of these cards for free. Just for logging on, you get all these cards for free. And I think that's absolutely incredible. So shout out to PTCGLive for doing this at the very least. I think this is an amazing gesture. 2 new players, 2 players who want to play. So if you're a free-to-play player or just want to play the Pokemon TCG and enjoy it or try it out, these are some already virtually competitively ready decks. You don't have to take my word for it, but trust me, it is what it is. These decks are almost ready to just take on the ladder, and you'll win some games, you'll play some games, you'll learn the Pokemon TCG. So welcome on in, and if you want to get more in-depth with competitive stuff, please subscribe to the channel, check out some of my other content. But if not, peace out, guys. Have a good one, and welcome to the TCG.